That is it, ladies and gentlemen. The NBA season for 2025 and 2026 has come to an end. The regular season's over. It felt like literally a couple of months ago where I was just announcing the season and we were finally bringing the season on after such a long off season, and it feels like it's just been and gone. Like for the first 20 games, to be completely honest, I felt like it dragged out a little bit. Like I felt like after watching 10 games, the first 10 games of the year, I was kind of like, oh, this is going to be a very long season. And then all of a sudden the All-Star break hit, and I feel like the last 25 games after the All-Star break have just flown. I don't know if that's because I've been busy and I haven't been watching detrimental amounts of basketball like I usually do. But it felt like it went so damn fast. For better or for worse, we're into the best part of the NBA season now, undoubtedly, the postseason. And the regular season is behind us. What a regular season it was. Today, I'm basically just going to touch on anything that pops to my head. Like, I'm going to start with talking about sort of major moments from this season. We'll go into the award winners a little bit, not too much. I'm only going to go into sort of the major awards because I might do all my smaller awards on TikTok. I think that is going to be my game plan. And we're going to talk about the playing games. That is the biggest headliner for today because the playing games start tomorrow. So if I don't get my predictions in now, you're never going to get them. Starting off with major moments from this regular season. Obviously, you had Bam's 83-point game, which was just one of the funniest games of basketball I think I've ever watched in my entire life. It was just, there was 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter of a random Tuesday night basketball game, and I had 4 Washington Wizards all marking the same guy, and they were 25 points down. It was one of the funniest anomalies that I've ever seen in the NBA. It also gave a lot of hope to a lot of fans, to be completely honest, because there was so much talk for many, many, many years that the World 100-point game didn't happen, that the World 100-point game is never going to be broken, it's never going to be inflated, it's never going to be crossed over. But Bam Adebayo, who before this game had a career high of 46 points, went and doubled that and had 83 points in a regular season game on a random Tuesday night in Miami. Obviously, he didn't even have overtime. It was all in regulation minutes. Coach Spoelstra kept him in the game, which gave him more time to process that win, get more points, get to the free throw line, because he shot damn 46 free throws or something. Like, it was just an anomaly of a time. And I will go back to that game in a couple of years' time and watch it again. But it also just made fans believe that 100 points can be done. In today's NBA, the perfect storm has to happen. Like, you have to be in a close game. You have to have a coach that's not going to sub you out if you start to pull away late. You have to be absolutely on one, like Bam was, where he had 30 points in the first quarter. It just, so many things need to fall in place. And I think it can happen, but I'm not too sure whether it will happen in the next sort of 5 years or so. But there is hope after that performance this year. A couple of other things we sort of can get into. Kevin Durant's alleged burner account. That was a thing for about a week or so. Him apparently calling Jabari Smith special and calling Alperen Sengun a bum because he doesn't know how to finish games. Like, it was a whole thing. And people were genuinely convinced that it was Kevin Durant. I personally didn't buy it. I thought that it was definitely someone else because there is so many people that can type things like that. And I don't know what it came from or why KD got linked to this particular account, but it just happened. And it was funny. Obviously, it happened over All-Star Weekend, and every time someone saw Kevin Durant on his phone during the All-Star Weekend, he was getting torched, and it was a whole kerfuffle. Another shout-out that I've got is the Charlotte Hornets for one of the best second halves of the regular season that I've seen in a long time. I thought they were lottery odds, to be completely honest. Going into the All-Star break, I thought they were lottery odds. They were one more year away. And as soon as they moved Moussa Diabate into that starting lineup after the All-Star break, they became ridiculous defensively. They became ridiculous offensively. And they were just one of the best teams in basketball for the whole second half of the season. Like, it was incredible. And they have a bright future ahead of them. They have so many good players in LaMelo, Brandon Miller, Con Knippel, Moussa Diabate. All these guys are really, really good NBA players. And I think for years to come, they're going to continue to build, continue to find their playoff spot, and just continue to be a really great team for years to come. Which, for Charlotte Hornets basketball, it ain't happened in some time. To be completely honest, it ain't happened in some time. So I'm hoping with everything in me that this team becomes better and this team starts to grow and continues to grow. That kind of leads me into the playing situation. I reckon we'll touch on that now before we get into the awards. I'll do that right at the end. Play-ins tomorrow. After all those performances from the Charlotte Hornets, they are still the 9th seed and playing the Miami Heat tomorrow. I think the Hornets take it. As I said, they're one of the hottest teams in basketball. They're scoring the ball and stopping the other team from scoring the ball, which, if you know anything about basketball, that's like the two main things. So, I got the Charlotte Hornets taking that. I think the Miami Heat are in the play-in again. I don't know what to say. Like, I feel like the Miami Heat have been in the play-in every year since this damn thing was invented. Like, it gets to a point where it just blows my mind. Charlotte Hornets are at home. They are going to take advantage of this game, I believe, and Miami Heat are not going to see a second playoff run. The Magic and the 76ers, sticking with the East side of things. I don't know where to go for this game. To be completely honest with you, if we had the Charlotte Hornets going up against either one of these teams, I think the Charlotte Hornets beat either one of these teams. I think the Charlotte Hornets are going to make the playoffs as the 8th seed. Because there is so many questions about Joel Embiid's health at the moment. Obviously, Paul George has come back within the last 15 or so games and has played reasonably well at times. He has played good minutes at times and in spurts. But it just depends on what sort of Paul George that you get. And that is the biggest question mark. And I don't know if Joel Embiid will come back for that Charlotte Hornets game either. If that being said, I think the Orlando Magic take this game. The Orlando Magic are such a weird team because at the start of the year, they were playing really, really well. They had Desmond Bane firing on all cylinders. Paolo obviously missed some time at the start of the year, but he's played really well ever since he's been back on the court. Franz Wagner's the same. He's only got 5 or 10 games under his belt going into this play-in run. But I think he is going to impact the floor enough. These guys all together will impact the floor enough to beat the 76ers. Obviously, the biggest thing with the 76ers at the moment, you have to stop Tyrese Maxey in transition. Because if they let Tyrese Maxey out in transition way too easily, the game could be over early. And the 76ers could build a lead and play off it. But I just don't see the Magic letting that up. Because the Magic aren't that bad defensively. You've got the likes of Jalen Suggs that wants to dig his heels in and guard the other team's best player. Which I think he will go straight to the Tyrese Maxey matchup. And I think they will just have enough. Obviously, it puts him against the 2nd seed Boston. Boston is going to wipe that series. To to be completely honest, looking at all 8 of these play-in teams, I don't see any single one of them winning a playoff series. If I'm being completely honest, I don't think there is any sort of Miami Heat Cinderella run this year. But you can only hope. I mean, that's what the play-in's for. It gets, hopefully, the best team out of those 4 into the playoffs to try and make some noise on one of those top-seeded teams. But this year, I just don't see it happening. The Warriors and the Clippers. I mean, I don't know. As a Warriors fan, I don't know. Obviously, we lost to them by 5 points the other day, but Kawhi wasn't playing. Steph didn't close the game. Kristaps didn't close the game. I saw something on my phone just before that apparently Steve Kerr is talking about minutes restrictions for Steph and Al and Kristaps and all these guys. And, like, I want to hope. I want to have hope for this game. But to be completely honest with you, I just don't know if we're going to have it. I think having to go against Kawhi Leonard in a one-game win-or-go-home situation is not somewhere that I want to be. Because Kawhi Leonard could very easily go out and get 40. Darius Garland has looked really good in a Clippers uniform so far. Benedict Mathurin can have his days where he can drop 25 to 30 points, no problems at all. So, I want to hope, but at the same time, I don't know. We will see how it goes. That game goes down on Thursday in Australia, Wednesday if you guys are over in the States. I'll pick the Warriors, just because they're my team. I'm never going to pick particularly against my team. I mean, unless we're going up against the OKC Thunder, then I'm just going to throw bias out the window. The last game is the Suns and the Blazers. A bit of a strange game, all things considered. I don't think a lot of people expected the Blazers to be this far. I don't think a lot of people expected the Suns to be this far, especially after the big blow-up with Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, all that sort of stuff that went on. The Suns have looked like a decent uniform, and I think the Suns will take this game out. Not by a lot, though. I think Devin Booker is going to get in his Duffy and probably have like 35 to 40 points in this one. And they are going to go up against the Spurs in the first round, which, as I said, I don't think there's a world where they take on the Spurs and come out as winners. But who knows? Yeah, I don't really have much to say about that game. It's going to be a game that I just sit and watch and enjoy. Denny Avdia, it'll be interesting to see how he plays in such a big, high-pressure game. Same thing with Dylan Brooks. You know, Dylan Brooks is going to get up in the chin of all the other team's players. How much of an impact he makes will also be a big part of the Suns' result. Because the Suns, outside of those two, have got a lot of young guys. Grayson Allen's obviously an older one. But you got your Colin Gillespie's and you got your Mark Williams and all those sorts of guys who are still very young and very developing day by day. You need leadership in this one. And I think whoever leads their team better in this one will take the win. But I've got the Suns by a little bit. That's the play-ins. And then obviously, so that would create a Warriors and Blazers matchup, which we can't seem to beat the Blazers. Don't know why. We just can't seem to beat the Blazers. So I'm backing the Blazers in that one, to be completely honest. I just don't think we're going to be able to pull it together. I seriously don't. And that also creates a 76ers versus Hornets matchup, which, as I said, I'm taking the Hornets, man. I think they make a playoff spot, and I genuinely think that they will win 1, maybe 2 games against the Detroit Pistons. I am fully believed in that. Like, I am fully on the Charlotte Hornets hype train, like a lot of people are at the moment. And I'm so here for it. Like, I'm here. Award winners is the last thing I sort of touch on, but I'll do a lot of the minor awards and stuff on the TikTok. My MVP is Shea. I think just the consistency and how much he has provided to this OKC roster for the entirety of the season, I think he deserves the award. Obviously, Nikola Jokic, Victor Wembanyama, Luka Doncic, these 4 guys have put together one of the most ridiculous MVP races I've ever seen. And Will I be surprised if either one of those teams wins? Absolutely not. If Jokic wins it, if Luka... Obviously, Luka's eligibility is in question at the moment because he's played 64 games. There is the argument about him giving birth and missing a couple of games to the birth of his daughter. They are petitioning it at the moment. We don't know for sure whether he is eligible for these awards. If so, those 4 guys are all in the All-NBA first team, and I think Shea takes the award away, but any of those 4 dudes can take the award away. As for the Defensive Player of the Year, that's Wemby. It's just not even an award. I don't even think it'd be a market on any of your sports books anywhere. He 3.5 blocks a game or whatever it is, and just ridiculous on that side of the floor. He can block things that no other player in NBA history has blocked. He's just that long. He's that athletic. He is a mind-blowing talent. Literally a mind-blowing talent. And I don't have anything else to say on the award. Like, Wemby has had that... Provided Wemby got to this 65 game rule, Wemby was winning the award from game 2. Like, it's how crazy that race was for the Defensive Player of the Year. Anyway, that's about it. That's all I sort of wanted to touch on. I just wanted to catch you guys, talk about the end of the season, talk about what's coming up. Postseason has started, so the TikToks will be flying. I'll be getting these instant reactions out. I think these main form YouTube videos, I think I might make when teams get eliminated, teams advance, to be just break it down and to talk about in depth, you know, the winners and the losers, what went wrong, what went right, that sort of stuff. I think that will be my main play for these long form videos going down the line. If you guys want to see anything else, please let me know. Please leave a comment. Tell me what you guys want to see throughout this postseason period, because this is what I will be uploading. I think that's the perfect strategy for me. Absolutely everything else will be on TikTok. If I'm making 2-3 TikToks a day, that's what I'm sort of aiming for. So you guys will see plenty of it during the postseason. I'm locked in. I'm ready to go. If you guys want to see anything, let me know. Like, subscribe if you've made it this far. That would be absolutely awesome. I'm loving the support from everyone, getting positive comments. Like, it just drives me, getting positive comments from people that haven't interacted with the channel before. It's absolutely awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. It's just been a bit of a rant from me, but sometimes they're good videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's bring on the postseason together. If you guys have any thoughts or opinions or comments or who you've got winning the play-ins, drop them in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys again very soon. Thank you guys.